Recording. Okay. Okay, guys. In previous session, we had discussed about static and final keywords, and of course, static keyword demonstration programs also we have seen. So, how do we use the static keyword, to create static variables, to create static methods, and to create static blocks, and the execution sequence of Java program also we understood in previous session. Now, the next keyword that we need to understand here is abstract keyword. So now let us understand what is abstract keyword and how do we use this abstract keyword in our Java programs. These points we try to understand today. So what we can write here now, the abstract keyword. The abstract keyword the abstract keyword is used in two ways in Java. The abstract keyword is used in two ways in Java. So why do we use, what are the two ways? One, to create abstract methods, and second one is to create abstract classes. Abstract classes. So, or we can say to create abstract classes and then create abstract methods. In these two ways so we can use. So now let us see the abstract classes. First, abstract classes or abstract class. What is an abstract class? An abstract class is a class with incomplete implementation, or else what we can say, an abstract class is a partially implemented class which needs to be inherited, or which needs to be implemented completely, or in other words what we can say, a partially implemented class where the subclasses should complete the remaining implementation of abstract class. So here what we are saying, an abstract class is a class with incomplete implementation. Incomplete implementation means what? It is expected to be a given certain set of methods implementations. So, but in the abstract class, what happens? Complete implementation will not be given. Only half implementation, or not even half. It can be any percent. Can be 10% or 80% or 50% or 90% or 95% implementation only will be given. But certainly there will be some implementation would be remaining still to be uh, given by the subclasses. So such classes we call as abstract classes. And even of course sometimes there will not required to be given any further implementation, but still that class can be abstract class. So an abstract class, general standard definition is what an abstract class is: a incomplete implementation of an object which needs to be completed by the subclasses. But if you want to give complete implementation, still if you want to make it as abstract class, that also you can do. That's not a, there is no restriction. So what else we can say about abstract class? An abstract class cannot be instantiated. Instantiation means what? Cannot be instantiated means what? What is instantiation means, guys? Yeah, Purnima, Sai, what is instantiation? Yeah, guys, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, guys, can you hear me? What is instantiation? What is the meaning of instantiated here? Cannot be instantiated. Instantiation means creating an object for the class. That is instantiation, right? So here, abstract class cannot be instantiated means what? Very important point that you need to remember is we cannot create objects for abstract class. We cannot create objects for abstract class. So if we declare a class as an abstract class, then you are not permitted to create any objects for abstract class. We can have only reference variables creating for abstract class, but never allowed to create objects for abstract class. So if you want, you can create only reference variable for the abstract class, but you are never allowed to Yeah, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. So, but never allowed to create objects for abstract class. You can create only reference variable for the abstract class, but cannot create objects at any point of time for an abstract class. So these points are very important. These notes you need to remember. Now, syntax, how do we create abstract classes? Syntax is public abstract class name. Under the class name, you can have the data members, means member variables. So whatever you want, you can declare, and you can write methods. In a class, what we can write? Member variables and member methods, right? But whatever methods that we are writing here, these methods can be zero or more abstract methods, zero or more abstract methods. Here we are saying about only abstract methods. That means what? You can have concrete methods also. Concrete means normal methods you can have as usual. If you want, you can have. So zero or more abstract methods, or zero or more normal, generally we call them as concrete methods. Concrete methods means which are having the implementation. Normal, implemented, or normal methods. Normal methods you can have like this. So in this way, we can create an abstract class. So even a normal class you can write, but the class you can declare as abstract class. Then what happens? That class will be an abstract class, and these points or rules will be imposed on the class. What are the rules? An abstract class cannot be instantiated, but you can create a reference variable for abstract class, but never allowed to create objects for the abstract class. This will be imposed. So example, how we can write example, public abstract class, you can say person. You can make person as abstract class here. As usual, regular code, whatever you want, you can write. There will not be any problem. Person class. Normally, how you are writing in any other programs, in the similar way, you can write person class, and this person class you can mark as public abstract class person in this way. So when you mark the class as abstract class, then what happens? You will not be allowed to create an object. You will not be allowed to create an object. But still, if you want, you can define any constructors. That's not a problem. But anyhow, you cannot create that. You use that constructors to create the objects directly in the programs. So that point you need to remember. Is it clear guys? Any class you can make as abstract class by just simply putting the keyword abstract in uh, declaration of the class. Is it clear guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Now let us see how does this abstract class work. and what are the rules imposed on abstract class objects creation that we see. So let's create a new folder, abstract keyword, abstract classes, methods. Now create abstract class. How do we create it? This already we have the code. Now save this person class, person.java. Person.java. Now let's write main class, public class, abstract demo. Public static void main string args. So person p equals to, or person p1 equals to new person, but actually follow the standards. Person give the variable names or object names also clearly, instead of p or q or like that. Give meaningful object names. Person one, or person completely you give new person. This is what we need to do, right? So if I do like this, now what happens here? It will give me a compilation error. Why? Because object person class is an abstract class which is not allowed to be instantiated. Here what we are doing in line number 3, whenever we are writing new person means, technically what we can say, generally what is that, the what is the meaning of that statement? Creating an object for person class, right? Technically we call that as instantiation of person object. Instantiation of person object. This line number 3, when we are writing new person, what is it means? What do we call it as? Instantiation of person object. Hmm? The technical terms you need to remember, guys. Why? Because these are the language specific terminology we need to remember, then only we can understand what we are writing and what others have written in the code. It is not always the case that you will be writing your own code all the times. You may require to modify others code also, right? So you should understand what they have written. So or try to remember the terms whatever I'm speaking and whatever I'm typing in these notes. So here we what we call it as object instantiation of the person class. But in simple terms we can say creating an object for person class. So this is not permitted in case of abstract class. Why? Person we have declared as abstract, right? So now it is not permitted, it will give you that error. So what we should do now, first set the path. Set path c colon program files java jdk bin, right? Now Java C abstract demo.java. See what it is saying. A person is abstract, cannot be instantiated. Where it is showing, it is not showing here in the reference variable declaration person p person one. It is showing the problem where at the place of new, where we have used new keyword. That means what? This is what the instantiation part of the object or class. That's why it is restricted. We cannot create any instances for person class object, person class. Clear? Understanding, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let me copy the error message also so that you can remember. So in this place, what happens? It will give you this error. This is multi-line comment, // star /. In between that, whatever we write, that is considered as comment. Okay. So if we do like this, it's not allowed. Then what we can do? If you want, you can simply create the person class reference variable person1 equals to null. Like this you can create. But person2 you cannot create. You cannot create object, but you can create a reference variable like this person1. Like this you can create. Only reference variable we can create. It is allowed. This is allowed or valid statement. So now if I compile and compile the application, you will not get any error at line number 3. You will get error at line number 5 only. See, at line number 5 only, where a new operator you are using to instantiate the person class object, there only you are getting the error. But in case of person p1 equal to null, you will never get any issue here. Is it clear? With person abstract class, what we are doing. But here you may get one doubt. If we are not allowed to create object and simply creating like this reference variable, then what is the use? With the simple reference variable, we cannot do anything, right? See, without creating object, using that reference variable person1 dot set details, can I call? During the compilation it will work. Set details and name, age, gender I can pass. Name is Ramana, age 24, gender M. I can do like this. And even I can say person1 dot show details. I can say it will perfectly compile and it will not give any error. I have to comment out this new person also. No, person p1 I can use like this. Only reference variable I can create, and that reference variable I can use to invoke the methods from person class. I can do this. Carefully observe, guys, how the behavior goes here. See, perfectly fine, right? It successfully compiles. But if I try to run the program Java abstract demo, abstract demo. Now what happens? You see, you get a null pointer exception. A null pointer exception at line number 12. At line number 12, if you see abstract demo.java colon 12, that means what? Wherever I am trying to call the method on the uh, reference variable this person p1, it will give me error. Is it clear, guys? What is happening? No, we can create only reference variable, and using reference variable, you can call the methods. It will compile successfully, but during the runtime, it will fail. It will give you null pointer exception. Why? Because what is there in person one right now? What is there? Null, right? Null means what? Nothing. Nothing is there in person one. That's why it's giving you error. So what is the use in this case? If we write like this, what is the use of this reference variables? So directly we cannot use abstract class reference variables like this. If we want to use abstract class reference variables, what we need to do, we have to write person p1 instead of null. We need to place reference to some object. Whose object we can place here? For person, whatever subclasses you will be writing, those subclass objects you can instantiate and their reference you can place in person one. So in person one, you can write new. What are the subclasses for person? What are the subclasses? What are the subclasses for this person? That is student, right? Or employee, right? Like this, you can do. So now what is student? Do we have student class now? No, we have to create it. But that student class should be subclass for person. Create the student class. So if you write a abstract class, to make use of that abstract class member methods and variables, you should write, it is compulsory that there should be a subclass for abstract class. Student. Student extends person. Student extends person. Yeah, guys, you are understanding, right? Directly, you cannot make use of abstract classes. If you want to make use of abstract class code, you should write subclass for that abstract class. Like this. We have written a subclass for person, right? A student. Like this, you need to write student.java. And while writing subclass, it is your choice here whether you want to write any other member variables and other member methods in this student class or not. That is up to you. But at least you need to write like this. As of now, in the person class, we have some methods. All this will be inherited into student, right? That rule we know or not? We know, right? So based on that inheritance rule, you can simply write the student class like this, and you can now use the student class constructor to create student class object, and that student class object reference you can place into person class reference variable. It is allowed. This point we know. We learnt in inheritance itself. Subclass object reference we can store in superclass reference variable. Do you remember, guys, this one? Do you remember or not? Yeah, guys. Subclass object reference we can store into superclass reference variable. Do you remember? Do you remember? This, yeah, actually, this one we discussed in inheritance. Like superclass reference variable can be used to store the reference of subclass objects. This is possible, but reverse is not possible. Means you cannot write student st1 equals to new person, like that you cannot do. This is not allowed. Means parent class object you cannot store in subclass reference. This is not permitted. This is not permitted, but this one is permitted. Parent class reference subclass object, and of course this is the very frequently using uh, frequently using parent class references to store the subclass objects in our advanced concepts also. This point is very important, guys. You need to remember all these abstract classes and parent reference, child class object, all these points need to remember. We can, once again, I am noting down the point. We can use parent class reference or superclass reference variable to store subclass or child class object. This is allowed. But we cannot store superclass object in subclass, means child class reference variable. These are very important points, guys. You need to remember. Okay. This is permitted. Now, if I try to compile and run, it works perfectly. Abstract. See, working right? So in this way, we can use abstract classes to be inherited by any of subclasses, and through the subclass objects, we can invoke all the methods of abstract classes. Is it clear? Clear, guys? Yeah, Shishir, Purnima. Shishir, have you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. A bit complex points, all this, but you should focus very carefully and need to remember all this. Okay. So, and whatever notes I'm typing here, try to remember all that points. Okay, guys. We pause today here. We pause here today. Tomorrow we'll continue with further more discussion on abstract classes and abstract methods in our other examples. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.